something that would allow us to look for the potential for debris. This is fairly new technology, and unfortunately for me, this is not the color table I intended on using it with. So this is going to take me a moment. I'd be looking close to Crawford. Okay. I don't like throwing out that debris word unless I'm sure, and I'm not sure at this instant. Looking close to Crawford. Okay. Let's go back to regular reflectivity. Not convinced at this instant that that's what this is. But, and I apologize for this just bouncing all over the place. Second set of eyes, please. Nick, come here. Okay. We're looking correlation coefficient, base reflectivity. Let's look at base velocity. Will you put your finger on the on that right there? Right there. So we can double check the exact location. Okay, good. Okay, good. Not debris. Okay, thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. Okay, so good sign. Still strong rotation on this thunderstorm as it heads toward the north and east. We continue to get different weather information, and this is just going to be an evolving situation. We go over to our Emily Leonard with the latest. Emily?
Okay, thank you very much, Matt. WTVA's Tyler Hill is in Tupelo. Actually, to be honest, we don't know where Tyler is right now. So let's go to him, find out what he's seeing and where he's at. Tyler?
Hey, thanks, Emily. Yes, right now I'm over on McCullough Boulevard, actually near the Country Road Club Road. And let me tell you, I first started over on West Jackson. I thought that was pretty bad, but now I'm over here, and it is, in some parts, it's unrecognizable. I have what we see over here on the Country Club Road. There are some houses down. Some looks like it may be leveled, others very bad damage. Wherever you look around, power lines are down, trees are snapped. This is over here on Country Club Road. It is closed. This area of McCullough Boulevard, it is closed right now. A lot of heavy traffic. I probably sat in traffic for about at least 30 to 40 minutes before I even got over here. Now, over back on the West Jackson side, as far as homes, not as much damage as I see over here, but a lot of power lines are down. I talked to one official. He said, and this was a couple hours ago, he said at least 30, 80-foot power lines were down. And again, that was 2 hours ago, so I really don't know what that count is up to now. But you know, so far, most of the damage, what I'm seeing, is over here on Country Club Road.
Hello? Can he hear me? Tyler?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Is there anything else you need to report to us right now? Yes. I know you're walking down McCullough and Country Club Road. Is there anything else you've got for us?
Right now, you're right, I am just walking down. I'm going to try to head towards South Gloucester, but what you need to know right now is traffic. It's heavy. Don't even try to come in this area. You're going to get stuck for a while. So just stay away from this area right now, and I'll try to bring as many updates as I can ASAP.
All right, Tyler, thank you very much. Be careful. Bring us updates as you can. With me here now is our sports director, Jim Holder. Jim, also out and about, all of our crews out and about today. Jim, you said you were near the mall area.
Right. Andy Lee and myself were out that way. Of course, there had been some early reports of some damage out there. It turns out just some debris, sign. There was some wind damage, a little bit, just a sign down near the Sears store there. But that area was fine. Of course, I know Susan Parker's out there south of there on Gloucester, and that's a different story, but she's down that way, as you know. We were coming back closer to the station. Of course, it's a tornado very close to here, as we talked about earlier, and there were some trees down, a couple of big trees down. We actually posted those to Twitter, and a power line or two down as well. So it's very scary, very scary, and some big trees as well. So yeah, we were out scouting that earlier.
And like everyone has said, traffic. It's just got to be horrendous right now.
We were out there, and of course, we saw 45 and 78. Traffic is just backed up, as you know, as you were talked about earlier, and it's you know, very almost no moving, slow moving, almost no moving. I think we're looking at that now, but just very, very at a standstill almost. But they're moving along as best they can. But that's been the situation for a couple of hours now, as a matter of fact.
Okay, so this video that you shot that we're looking at right now, this is Highway 45.
This is Highway 45 south.
Okay.
And there's also, and of course that's headed towards 78, of course. So.
Right, and to mention the 78-45 interchange there, the reason that this is so slow is power lines.
Right, right. And
the giant industrial size,
I believe that's correct, yes.
poles are down.
Yeah,
So definitely stay away from this area. I know it's 5:30. Many of you are trying to get home, trying to get to your loved ones right now, but just have some patience.
Yeah, and a lot of folks are out right now, and it's understandable. We're all, everybody's a little chaotic right now, but just take your time and that's all you can do. Just take your time, be patient. As patient as you can.
Patience is the key word. Jim, thank you very much for your report. Just a couple of other things we want to mention once again that Mayor Jason Shelton with the city of Tupelo issuing a citywide curfew for 9 p.m. tonight. They've backed it up now to 9 p.m. So you definitely want to stay at home. Do not move unless you absolutely have to. We also got lots of information coming into the Weather Authority. For that, let's go back over to our Chief Meteorologist, Matt Lopon. Matt?
Okay, it hasn't popped on the map behind me, but tornado warning is in effect. It does include, as we talked about a minute ago, we're waiting on it, finally came down, for Lowndes as well as, let me go check my counties, Noxubee and Oktibbeha counties. That's for this same circulation that we've been tracking. At this instant, the wording is radar indicated. So that's a good sign. There, by the way, is a confirmed tornado on the ground down in Hinds County as we speak. So this is a situation that stretches throughout a good chunk of the state and will throughout the evening. So let's see here how old this radar image is. If you give me a moment, we are looking at one from 5:33. That is current. Let's come in and let's track this tornado, which I believe I would not, in no way would I be shocked if this were a tornado on the ground, very near the Crawford community as well. Let's see if we can go to the wind mode, because I think the wind mode is just going to tell us so much more. And this is in an environment out here ahead. What we have is out here ahead, there have been no tornadoes. There have been no thunderstorms. So the moisture is slamming right out of the Gulf of Mexico into this thunderstorm. This could be just as substantial as what came through Tupelo and what might have been a much more substantial tornado that ended up going through Louisville. So this is an environment that would lend itself to that. Let's come in closer. We'll show what looks to be multiple circulations very near Crawford. Crawford behind me. Let's get it to where it's not. You had an initial circulation there that has weakened some. And that happens as the circulation wraps in the moisture. It cuts off the warm air and causes the tornado to die. So then a second circulation, a second tornado, could be in the development stages. It still might be one big tornado, and it might be two tornadoes. It's very difficult to say at this point, but the information we have shows that it's still Doppler radar indicated, and as we showed you a minute ago, I cannot on this thunderstorm confirm that it is producing damage, but we want to treat it as if it were, just in case. Let's go ahead and let's go and put a storm track on that. As we mentioned, it's near the Crawford community now. The speed on that thunderstorm, let's get this right, 25 miles per hour. That storm is crawling. These started off 55 miles per hour. They're down to 25 miles per hour. So near the Penns community. Let's get that speed from 50 and it's back at the 30. I'm still going to overestimate. And at that movement, it might take a while. You still have a half hour in Columbus, assuming it makes it all the way up to you. And that is a possibility. If you live in Lowndes County, the southern half of the county, south of 182 and south of US 82, I want to make sure that you are in your tornado safe place. And we haven't said this a while, so to remind you where that is. That is the lowest floor of a sturdy structure. Find a room in the middle of that sturdy structure and turn up the volume on the TV. Wrap yourselves in blankets and pillows to protect yourself from flying debris. The likelihood is that these tornadoes today can go from maybe on the ground to strong tornado on the ground like that. So while right now we have one of two situations that we're always dealing with when it comes time for tornado warnings. Is the tornado spotted or is Doppler radar indicated? At this moment, it's this. but it doesn't take more than a couple of minutes for it to go to a tornado on the ground. Do you have some information, Nick? Okay, I just wanted to check. Nick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this, if you can. I'm going to see if I can continue to charge this. And you might plug this in over there too. You'll probably have to unplug it down there. But this is still a very significant tornadic situation, and we have to prepare by being in our tornado safe place. We just have to. So let's go back to Storm Track Doppler radar. Now, this isn't quite as organized as it was a moment ago, but that doesn't mean it's weaker. It means it kind of looks like I've spun off a north circulation and a south one. That's not good. This could be a tornado on the ground in Crawford. Now, I don't have confirmation of that at this instant, but I do think, looking at this, that that is a possibility that we have to consider. Hold on a second. Let's get that to go away. See if I can get it back to the better radar version. Okay. So that's still a significant situation we have to watch very closely. We have, I believe they've allowed the tornado warning. Obviously, they've canceled the tornado warning for Monroe County. So it's primarily just this, what's going to be Lowndes County tornado that we're going to watch. And the fact that this goes up, 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 right, is a sign that it's turning into that moisture. We mentioned a minute ago, all the fertile moisture from the Gulf of Mexico down south feeding into this. That's why this is right turning. It might not make it all the way to Columbus. You still need to be in your safe place if you live in Columbus or New Hope. But this could try to follow its way through southern Lowndes County more than just head straight northeast. That's probably part of the reason why it's also slowed down in its peak wind speed as well. I'm going to see if we can kick it back over to that mode where we look for debris. Get to the latest scan there. Someone was asking if the highways are still closed in Tupelo. Yes, I would be shocked if they get them back open in the next few hours. Let's go to the precipitation mode. See, and we're looking through this from the radar site up in Columbus. So to be able to see what we call an inflow notch there, wrapping around, shows that this storm is rotating in a significant way. Hey, Nick, I'm going to have to steal that back from you. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's look at the wider map here. And yeah, you can just get in front of the camera and plug it in if you would. It'll plug you up. Just a little place there. Plugs in on that side. Appreciate it. By the way, 1.92 inches of rain in Kosciuszko. One thing we haven't mentioned, and very much needs to be mentioned, the quantity of rainfall occurring due to this line of thunderstorms is probably very substantial, meaning low-lying areas, and you know if you live near one of those, probably are having some substantial flooding issues. I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, and you'll go, why is he going to break from tornado coverage for flooding rainfall? Because here's the thing, flooding rainfall kills more people each year than tornadoes and hurricanes combined. Oh, baby girl. I'm glad she's safe. Okay. So rainfall totals in some places have been the yellows to the oranges there, 2.5 to 3 inches. There's some hail, what we call hail contamination, that's mixed in there. But that's a lot of rainfall, so some of those creeks are going to be swollen. Let's switch off rainfall. Let's go back to the wind mode. This is another time where let's give some all clear for a moment. And we can give some all clear for basically north and west of this line. There's going to be some thunderstorms. And from time to time, they could be a little bit strong. But the tornado risk is out here. It's ahead. It's as air gets in here and it ingests. And you can see, I mean, that just looks mean. I mean, it looks like it's got an, I guess, an overbite to it. We're looking southern Lowndes County toward Crawford. This storm has gone almost east. It still has a little northerly component, but that is a tornado likely on the ground at this instant. Let's go to the wind mode on Storm Track Doppler radar. That is significant rotation. One direction, where you see those bluish colors, my radar says that's about 61 miles per hour. The other direction, about 54 miles per hour. That would be rotation of more than 100 miles per hour on more of a broad scale. Yeah, we can look pixel to pixel, but we're looking high enough up that we're not going to see a tornado. You don't see a tornado with Doppler radar. You see the rotation up in the thunderstorm that produces a tornado. So you never want to say for sure yes or no on tornado on the ground just off of radar imagery, but I will tell you this, that storm is continuing to strengthen. Our discussion with the Weather Service continues to show, in particular, they're looking at a strong storm down around Jackson, but they're also watching this thunderstorm, mentioning the still radar indicated rotation on this thunderstorm. I want to make sure. Okay. I think we're going to try to send it over the news desk here in a minute. We continue to get more information in. The damage situation we have has been substantial. Not just in Tupelo, but in Louisville. And I'll be honest, if I had a little more internet, I could show all those pictures you've been sending in. We will try to get to some of those, but we're still in an active tornado warning situation. Let's get an update from our Emily Leonard. Emily?
Okay, Matt, thank you very much for that. Some more information to pass along to you this afternoon. A triage center has been set up at Auburn Baptist Church. That's on Auburn Road in the Auburn community. So if you're in any kind of need for help, you can go there. You can also go to the Bancorp South Arena. But we want to remind you that you do not need to be getting out unless you absolutely have to. The city of Tupelo does have a curfew that's now been enacted. It is 9 p.m. tonight. Again, city of Tupelo, 9 p.m. curfew. We're hearing from the Tombigbee Power Company from Bill Long there. He's telling WTVA that it's going to be several hours before the power is back on for areas served by the Barnes Crossing, Tupelo Parks and Rec, the substations there. They are working to get the power back on, but it is going to be a while. They're urging everyone just to be patient right now as they are working very hard to get that back on. We're also receiving some information and updates about gas leaks being on Gloucester in that area. We have a crew on our way. Our Susan Parker is headed that direction to try to give us an update from the Gloucester Street area. We've received lots of reports of damage from that area. The Outback, the Vanelli's, the gas station there on Green Street in Gloucester, and the Steak Escape, that general area getting lots of damage from the winds. So please steer clear of that area. Tree damage in the area, power lines down. Do not get out unless you have to in that Green Street, Gloucester area. We will have a live report coming to you as soon as we can. The Louisville area receiving lots of damage there as well. You've heard Matt and the Weather Authority mention Louisville several times within the last half hour or so. The North Mississippi storm chasers and spotters reporting, as they said, a lot of damage east of Louisville. Mississippi Highway Patrol also reporting damage from that area near the Country Club. So you definitely want to stay in your safe place, in your houses right now. Lots of damage everywhere. Matt is signaling to me. We need to go back over to him, get some more information.
Well, I mean, we're talking about damages, and I'm trying to take these few moments in between, considering I have just about the only internet we can get on the air right here on my phone. Try and take a few moments here and check and see what kind of damage pictures. This supposedly from near Houston of obviously some pretty substantial tree damage. And this is a picture from somebody who has my number. Gloucester. I don't know the exact location. And I'm sorry I can't make that go full screen for whatever reason, but as you can see, These pictures are only going to, and they're not going to get any better, unfortunately. Let's get to an active tornado warning situation where we have a tornado at this point still being referred to as radar indicated by the National Weather Service out at the Jackson office in communication with storm chasers and storm spotters. It is circulation that is not tight, it's not pixel to pixel, but it is still strong. And they have gone ahead and canceled out, and I think rightfully so, Oktibbeha County and Noxubee County from this tornado warning. But if you live north of Brooksville and you're really close to that line, I do not like the direction that this storm has made because it's going almost directly east. And so that means even though you're technically not in this tornado warning down there in Noxubee County, I want to verify that is the truth. Yes. Even though you're technically not in this tornado warning, that is so close to the county line that I still want to keep you in your tornado safe place regardless. Network, I love you. Apparently there's a hashtag on that now. Let's go back to the precipitation mode on Storm Track Doppler radar. And that's 5:48, newest radar image coming in on Storm Track Doppler. And what we're looking at is still rotation. Near Crawford, just east. This is a classic supercell thunderstorm in its mature phase. So if this storm isn't producing a tornado, it's that far away from it. Because you can see the big area here, that Columbus, the hail's about to get big. Maybe 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches big. And that's going to come very close to Columbus, obviously hit New Hope. The tornado we're still watching very, very closely. Looks like it's going to be crossing. That would be 45 regular. That would be 45 alternate. And looks like it'll be crossing 45 pretty much now, to be 100% honest. And so the fact that you can see the winds actually curling around in this, and this would be right in here where the tornado would be, makes this a significant rotation and one we have to continue to treat as though it's a tornado on the ground, even though at this point the best I can say, the worst I can say, is that it might be on the ground. Fortunately, we're just getting reports that it's Doppler radar indicated. And you can see that rotation. And I'm going to, now that we got a new update on the other one, I'm going to go to the wind mode here. This is updated as of the 48 scan, so I should get another one here in a moment. But you can still see a couple areas here where we have some pretty significant rotation showing up. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at the whole situation as it stands right now, and we'll probably go back and do a little more damage work. I want to analyze the part of this line back toward Louisville, which has had two very, very dangerous storms move through. I know if you still have power near Louisville, those nerves are rattled to pieces. At this instant, what I'm looking at here does not look tornadic. Let's look at the hail potential on this. Looks to be impressive. Let's look at the high resolution hail potential, if that comes in, and I should have stuck with the low res stuff. So let's stick with that. I think the main hail and wind potential is just going to be a little north of town, along what we refer to as a bow echo. Might have 50 to 60 mile per hour winds out of this. We'll have to watch it pretty closely. But here's what I was talking about a moment ago. See that white return there? That could be exceptionally large hail just to the east of Crawford to go along with the tornado threat. At the very least, it shows a strong updraft into this thunderstorm. And when you have strong updrafts, that's when, if that updraft rotates, that it becomes a significant tornado touchdown. We continue to have information coming into the WTVA newsroom. We go to our Emily Leonard for the latest. Emily?
All right, Matt, thank you very much. Once again, lots of storm damage. Matt has reiterated several times this is a catastrophic and violent event of long track tornadoes. So we have lots of information coming into our newsroom at this time. There's a triage center set up currently at the Auburn Baptist Church there in the Auburn community just off of Auburn Road. Also a help center set up at the Bancorp South arena. However, I want to reiterate, do not get out unless you absolutely have to and you are in need of that help. The mayor of Tupelo, Jason Shelton, has issued a city-wide curfew for tonight at 9 p.m. He is asking everyone to stay where they are, stay in their houses, not any longer than 9 p.m. tonight, so that curfew. Also hearing from the Tombigbee Power Company, Bill Wong there, telling us that it is going to be several hours before the power is restored. His crews are out citywide trying to get the power back on, but it is going to be a while, so they're asking for your patience. We're also asking for your patience here at WTVA News. We received quite a power hit here at the station as well. We're trying to get you the latest information that we can as quickly as we can. Our crews are all across the city right now gathering photos, gathering information, gathering video, and trying to get back to the station. But traffic right now, it is quite a mess out there, to be perfectly honest with you. Green Street and Gloucester area, quite a damaged wide area. Outback, Vanelli's, the gas station there, Steak Escape, all of that area is seeing lots of damage. And we're seeing lots of damage as well. Tree lines down, power lines down. So please be careful if you are out. Also want to say once again, Highway 45 and Highway 78, that interchange, traffic is basically at a standstill right now as the industrial-sized light poles that are there have been knocked down, as well as the trees knocked down as well. Riley, are we receiving any other information? Okay, right now our phone lines and power lines are down right now, so it's slow go of it right now trying to get some information out, but we will bring you the latest as it's made available to us. But right now, Matt is signaling once again to go back over to the Weather Authority for the latest on our weather situation. Matt?
Well, I mean, we still probably have a tornado that's either on the ground or is really trying hard. Oh, okay. So what is happening here? Yeah, this is probably a tornado on the ground. I don't have confirmation from the Weather Service. They might not be able to see it with precipitation. The latest information I have on this still showing that it's radar indicated. But the fact that I have my precipitation kind of curling around, and this little ball here, which is where we would look for the tornado, as that ball has been kind of sucked into the north. We've been talking a lot about the easterly movement on this thunderstorm. See how the last scan there, how you kind of get sucked back in? That is a sign that the rotation, the inflow is pulling harder into the thunderstorm, or at least the thunderstorm is pulling on the inflow harder. That's a sign that this is strengthening. We need to be in our safe place for a lot of these folks, for a lot of these locations in and around Lowndes County. Let's talk about that. Let's get some storm tracks on here. It's been a while since I've done a storm track. This is that warning, that tornado warning that's in effect for Lowndes County, as we mentioned, in effect this evening, and does include the city of Columbus, Whiteberry, until 6:30 p.m. The rotation on this thunderstorm is on the south side of this warning. The movement on this thunderstorm is only about 25 miles per hour. I'm going to track it at 30, meaning my time's going to be a little bit off. But I would put it right along US 45 regular. 45 alternate, 45 regular. And that says 23 minutes at 30 miles per hour into Columbus. That might be long. Might not make it to Columbus. I think it's more likely it'll head toward McCrary, but the fact it's going to even be close, if you live on the south side of town, you've got to be in your safe place. And a reminder once again, and we cannot pop these up too often, of where your safe place is. A sturdy structure on the lowest floor. I want you to find a room in the middle of that structure and turn up the volume on the TV so we can give you information and give you the all clear as that becomes pertinent. And obviously, this is one of those situations. Thunderstorm wind damage as of 5:50 p.m., that's 9 minutes ago, 18-wheeler overturned on 45 alternate. That'd be 3 north of Crawford, and that would be from this thunderstorm. Let's go ahead and go back to the gritty version of Storm Track Doppler radar. So that would have been as the winds. Now, what could be happening here? So, oh, geez, I wish I could look at this in high resolution, but we're just going to have to take it as it is. But what has happened here is our circulation has occluded. See this point right there? I'm going to stop this for a second. That was that big blob we had back here a couple of scans ago, and it is tightened up. So this could be still a tornado occurring, but what becomes now possible is this finger here. this little hook. We call that the rear flank downdraft. Forward flank up here, kind of an Army term. Rear flank here, forward flank hail, lots and lots and lots of hail up there in Columbus. Rear flank here, as this pushes